చెక్ చేయి మధ్యలో ఫేస్బుక్ అండి. Welcome to Dr. TSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello and a warm welcome to one of the best shows it should be today to liberate the world. And our guest is none other than Dr. Gautam Das from Kolkata. As welcome to the special show, sir. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
This special show because these channels, Dr. TSPR channel, Citizens Dr. TSPR channel or Environment People Dr. TSPR channels have been espousing the public cause in larger public interest. We are always demanding science, truth, evidence, fundamental rights, freedom. हम यही चाह रहे थे कि ये चैनल के द्वारा डॉक्टर TSPR चैनल के द्वारा सच का खोज हो, वैज्ञानिक तौर पर विज्ञान हो और हमारी आज़ादी हमको मिले. మొదటి నుంచి డాక్టర్ TSPR ఛానల్స్లో మనం ఒకటే చెప్తా వస్తూ ఉన్నాం. ఒక సైంటిఫిక్ టెంపర్, విజ్ఞానవంతులకు వైజ్ఞానపరంగా అంశాలు, దాంతోపాటు సత్యమేవ జయతే, దానితో పాటు హక్కుల ఉల్లంఘన జరుగుతూ ఉంది. దాన్నే స్వాతంత్ర్యం. సో ఈ మూడిటిపైన మొదటి నుంచి మన ఛానల్స్ చెప్తూ వస్తున్నాయి. ప్రపంచమంతా అదే జరుగుతూ ఉంది. కెనడాలో ట్రక్కర్స్ నుంచి మొదలైనటువంటి కెనడా స్ట్రైక్ ఈరోజు కెనడా నలుమూలల కాకుండా యూరోప్లో ప్రతి చోట, ఆస్ట్రేలియాలో కూడా పెద్ద ఎత్తున ప్రజలు తిరగబడతా ఉన్నారు. కాబట్టి మన ప్రజలు ఏం చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు? రాష్ట్ర దేశ ప్రజలారా, మీ స్వాతంత్ర్యం ఎటుపోయింది? సత్యమేవ జయతే, సత్యం వద్దా? विज्ञानम सत्यम मुद्दा. नागरिकों जागो, क्या हो रहा? पूरा दुनिया हम जो बात कर रहे हैं पिछले 2 साल से अतिथिगण के द्वारा, यही हो रहा है भाई. ये सवाल उठा रहे हैं हर जगह. विज्ञान क्या हुआ? सत्य क्या हुआ? सत्य और झूठ के बीच में लड़ाई और हमारे आज़ादी की लड़ाई. So the battle is very well set. Science, truth and freedom. Yes sir, I'll make you a presenter. Before that, I'll just try to show people across the globe the same thing is happening and is going to help us out. I just wanted to show you, though these are the last week visuals from Australia and the latest also, many have been going on. And see how the Ottawa hypocrisy, this has been sent by the people. See, Ottawa police chief, the Ottawa police service members are exempt from mandatory vaccines. They fought hard to protect themselves from mandates which would take away their rights as Canadians. See the hypocrisy. These people have sent. How they are trying to put common people. ఇక్కడ చూడండి మీ స్క్రీన్ మీదనే, ఒట్టవా పోలీస్కు వాళ్ళకు వ్యాక్సిన్ అవసరం లేదు, ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళ హక్కుల ఉల్లంఘన. కానీ వాళ్ళు ఇదే పోలీసు ప్రజలను భయపెట్టించి టీకాలు వేయిస్తూ ఉన్నారు. देखिए ये तमाशा क्या हो रहा. जो ओटावा पुलिस वो खुद नहीं लेना चाहते टीका क्योंकि वो हक का उल्लंघन है, लेकिन ये लोग जो है लोगों को डरा के धमका के टीका, वैक्सीन, मास्क मैंडेट ये लगाने की ये कर रहे हैं. सो जस्ट इट्स एन आई ओपनर फॉर यू. हाउ सी दीज वेरी सेम पीपल आर नाउ थ्रेटनिंग Canadians standing up for the exact same rights. See how diabolic it is. The hypocrisy at its worst. So we are trying to show, this channel just believes in showing you only truth. Nothing other than truth. And you have, these are the visuals from Australia, last week visuals. How Australians are also Canberra, Australian capital, people see in large. Last week's video I'm just trying to play. Now France, every other country is on the roads now. People are on the roads. Why not India? India is silently they are taking away, but they should, don't you think they should be made accountable? Yes. For that reason, I'm just trying to show you these visuals. And then you have another gentleman from Canada, British Columbus. See what he's saying. He has written.
Hello friends, I'm Tony Mitra and I have composed a letter
to the Governor General of Canada. I have not sent it out yet. I'm still proofreading.
Like our president, there you call Governor General. See how painfully he has written all this.
But here I'll read it out to you, and if you all have any suggestion, you're welcome to give me. I intend to send it out today. To the Office of the Governor General of Canada, dated Friday, 11th of February, 2022. Subject: No confidence in Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Respected Governor General Miss Mary Simon. First, I would like to explain why I do not use titles as Your Excellency or Right Honorable when addressing you. I believe these are throwbacks of a feudal era of the British Empire where people of title were automatically regarded as better than the common citizen. To me, this is a distortion and counterproductive for a functioning democracy, where officials are supposed to serve the people and not lord over them. Also,
Listen, India, wake up. Officials and politicians are supposed to serve people, not lord over them. Why should you address them? జీ హుజూర్, మనం ఎందుకు గౌరవప్రదమైన పదాలు వాడాల్సి వస్తుంది? అక్కడ వాళ్ళు మన సేవకులు, ప్రధానమంత్రి కానీ, ముఖ్యమంత్రి కానీ, అధికారులు కానీ. అక్కడ కెనేడియన్ రాస్తా ఉన్నాడు, అక్కడ బ్రిటిష్ అడ్వకేట్
calling
జనరల్.
someone excellency implies that she or he may be my ruler, such as a queen or a king. You are neither, and I do not pledge allegiance to fight to protect your honor. Quite the opposite, I expect your office to fight to protect my rights. In a functioning democracy, public is the master and the officials are public servants. Finally, addressing any government official as honorable leaves the disrespectful implication that the public at large are somehow dishonorable. So, for all these reasons, you are, in my judgment, to be addressed as respected Governor General Miss Simon. The respect is to the important position you hold, but that respect is subject to your action. In other words, it needs to be earned and not demanded. This letter is penned by me following the general lines of a sample letter circulating on social media for Canadians that are disappointed with the performance of Prime Minister Trudeau and wishes to see the back of him. I have modified the original to better suit my opinion. Justin Trudeau is not just a failure as a representative of the people and the leader of our government. He appears to take guidance from overseas entities that are not elected by Canadians and is engaged in thoroughly and near permanently ruining Canada socially, economically, medically, and democratically, all based on unproven third-party hearsay. He and his crony parliamentarians have seriously acted to thwart all attempts of citizens like myself to demand that the Canadian Parliament orders independent, in-house, transparent, and verifiable assessment of all COVID restrictions and prove to the Canadian people that these measures stand up on unbiased scientific basis. Not only that, he makes a mockery of science by cherry-picking what reports serve his purpose and severely suppresses dissent in science, thereby turning himself more as a Stalinist arm of propaganda than promoting anything that remotely resembles real science. He has also helped corrupt the media so thoroughly that their reports are worth little. He is violating the rights of the people. He unleashes draconian laws under an emergency act that in itself should be illegal without public feedback, public consultation, and public access to both sides of an argument.
So we'll stop it here. I'll play the rest last. Now we will present you why Canadians like Mr. Tony Mitra from British Columbus is protesting, and the end letter, ending of that also you will hear in the end part of this live show. But why? What is happening? Why the science is distorted by the Prime Minister of Canada? Likewise, all Prime Ministers, including India, they don't discuss anything. That we are going to show through our honorable guest, Dr. Gautam Da. I'll make him I'll make him the presenter so that he will expose why Canadians are fighting, why Indians are still sleeping. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. You are the presenter. Gautam Das ji, you are the presenter.
Is it visible?
Yeah, not visible.
Is it visible?
Not
My
yet,
screen
sir.
is visible?
Not yet, not yet. Just check once.
Okay.
You have seen Mr. Tony Mitra. He's writing and he
I think it is
says,
visible.
no, not yet, sir. He says governor or for that matter prime minister and all elected representatives should earn respect from people. Yes, sir, now it's visible. They should earn respect from people because they are public servants.
Visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, visible, sir.
Okay. Let me just
Unscientific methods being pursued by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. He says, just out Trudeau, why we are going to present you what these unscientific methods, why people are demanding science, truth, and freedom. Canada leading the way. Canada protests, shaking the world. It's a Commonwealth country, believe me. After Britain, Canada, not going back. People are literally out on the roads. I've shown you the Australian protests. France is on the way. Number of countries. Indian state after state, they are removing, lifting. But this draconian epidemic act, why did they unleash? For what purpose? They should come out clean. People have right to demand 2 years of quality educational life lost. Children literally on the roads, doing nothing. They've been in fact exposed to the vagaries of the bright light without proper education. Yes, sir, please go ahead. It's visible on the screen.
It is visible, but I can't see it. Oh, then
Oh,
I have to collapse your. Just do it.
no problem, sir, please. Children losing their valuable
Okay, now it's.
academic career. 2 years in limbo. People have lost their lives, spent their fortunes when fear and panic was driven by these unnecessary mandates. Police acting, taking an health issue into making it a law and order issue, much to the chagrin of people. Infringement of, yes, it's a huge screen. Please go ahead. Infringement of fundamental rights. That is why people are demanding where is science? What is the truth? My freedom. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Can I start?
Yes, please.
Before, before so-called COVID-19 pandemic broke out, we, the humanity, lived through centuries and survived the onslaught of many known and unknown viruses and pathogens. But this time around, we have witnessed a completely new phenomenon, which Professor Anadis has called fiasco of the century. Mighty policymakers, backed by big pharma companies and powerful institutions, played the healers. They prescribed solutions in the form of catastrophic restrictions and punishing mandates. After 2 years, people are now out in the street. They are voicing their deep resentment against unscientific, irrational, and potentially harmful policies. They call their movement Freedom Convoy. It has started in the frozen highways of Canada. Now it is spreading like wildfire in the other parts of the world. From Paris to Brussels, in Australia and New Zealand, people are talking, people are taking to the street to demand freedom from all kinds of mandates. This is the perspective I am going to explore in this presentation. Freedom from corona mandates, Canada protests, take the world. Hello and welcome everyone on this DRTSPR channel. It is always my pleasure to be back on this channel. Let's get started now. As the movement freedom from corona mandates advanced far and wide, the powerful propaganda machine is also working overtime. They want absolute compliance, subordination, and silence. But the writing on the wall is clear and loud. Even the pandemic task managers of different countries are forced to admit that COVID has gone endemic and we have to live with it like we live with other endemic diseases. Scientific evidences have cheered apart the unfounded claims and false alarms that justified severe restrictions. People all over the world, in one voice, are demanding no mandates. It has all started in the frozen highways of Canada. A massive fleet of trucks has trudged thousands of miles. Millions of people were greeting them on their way to Ottawa. They call it Freedom Convoy. Freedom Convoy appears to have turned the tide. People are shedding tears, defying restrictions, hunting no mandates. They are thronging the heart of the capital and they have surrounded their parliament. And it bears a testimony of great irony of our time. What is that irony? Back in 2020, people are forced to stay at home. Roads, workplaces, institutions were empty and ghost-like. Only few political masters dominated the scene and were calling the shots. After 2 years, people, not in hundreds, but in millions, they are out in the street. They have surrounded the parliament. They are peacefully voicing their dissent. And the most powerful man of their country, the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, had to go in hiding, pretending to be in quarantine from COVID-19. Now, $1 million question is, will their Prime Minister relent? Will he come to his senses and talk to the people, or will he be politically quarantined? As I said earlier, powerful propaganda machine has again swung into action. Spin masters are giving new twists to their fledgling COVID narrative. More than that, they have started demeaning and vilifying the cry for freedom. The left-leaning, the Guardian magazine, they are lying to the people. Probably to please their mentor, they are carrying such misleading headlines. Their headline says, Canada truckers, vaccine protest, spirals into calls to repeal all public health rules. Carefully notice, all public health rules. It suggests that anarchy is in the making, but it is far from the truth. Another instance of such vilifying attempt is the report of the Washington Post. A misleading headline. They say, a self-described freedom convoy of Canadian truckers. This is the way they are. They kept downplaying the movement. They are painting it to be a self-described or self-limited, self-styled freedom convoy. But the fact is far from that. Because they are just echoing what their Prime Minister had said from his hiding. He said that the protesters are from fringe minorities. Another lie. Social media actors are inciting violence. And they are mentioning some dubious poll. The poll shows vaccine mandates enjoy broad support. Despite such vile efforts of mainstream media, cry for freedom continues unabated and started echoing in many parts of the world. Situations are evolving at a faster rate than we could think of. As the Freedom Convoy rolls into Ottawa, many countries, as many as 12 countries, have started rolling back their COVID restrictions. Among them are Sweden, Switzerland, Denmark, Norway, Finland, Netherlands, France, UK, etc., who are hesitantly withdrawing restrictions in phases. Notably, the Israel is also suggesting that they will be scrapping green passes. Let us start with the example of Denmark. Epidemiological Committee of Denmark has said to the government that BA.2, a fancy name that they had given to a subvariant of Omicron, it is milder than Delta, with no further increase in hospitalization, so it has become endemic. It is their admission. It spurred the health minister of Denmark to say that COVID-19 is no longer a socially critical disease. As a matter of fact, COVID has never been a critical disease. It has been milder than seasonal flu. But the politicians are those who made it critical socially and economically. It is now an open secret. But the Danish minister wants us to believe that they're getting rid of this socially critical disease. So they say, we say goodbye to restrictions and welcome the life we knew before. From February 1, Denmark will be open. The government will only recommend mask use in hospitals, healthcare facilities, and homes for the elderly. You can say, let out any. Maybe, but that is not without heavy price, mostly paid by the common people. And people are now seeking answers from their ministers in the street. Netherlands health minister appears to be a bit wiser. He says that Omicron is spreading very fast regardless of the previous infection or vaccine status, and there is no incidence of severe illness. He put up a brave front by taking baby steps like this. He, he allows shops, restaurants, bars to remain open, but up to 10 o'clock at night, not beyond that. He wants to have the stadium filled, but not beyond 1/3 of its capacity, as if they're making some form of truce with the virus. All these may sound comical, but for millions of people, it has largely been a tragedy, an avoidable tragedy, and they are now demanding a decisive end to it. So we can say they are putting up brave face, but it is undone by stupid vexation. Sweden Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson is quite innovative to find her escape route. Our federal council amended ordinances to revoke quarantine orders from February 3. But they are deeply thinking about how slowly or how fast they will be lifting the remaining restrictions. They have got a funny and philosophical way of coming out of their own crisis. They say there could be two options. Option one, lifting all measures in a single step. Option two, lifting the measures in two steps. So they want us to believe that whether the virus will finally say goodbye, it is up to them, not up to the virus. And they blame the restriction fatigue of the people. It appears to be a theater of absurd. But theater of absurd is losing plot. People are not amused, they are angry. The most bizarre suggestion came from Health Minister of France. He said that only when the ICU becomes empty and there are no new variant in circulation, then only vaccine pass can be debatable. In the spree of rollback all over the Europe, is France an outlier? Are they looking for fig leaf? Will they remain arrogant? Getting ICU empty and no new variant in circulation is just absurd, unrealistic, and crazy. So is the vaccine pass. Clearly, there is no respite for corporate media. They are out to spin news stories every other day in a bid to perpetuate fear and hysteria. Here is an example. You see, a Bloomberg carries such a headline: Omicron raging, but Europe is easing restrictions. I think you can understand. Had they told the truth, the headline should have been protests raging and Europe is forced to ease restrictions. But they didn't that. Why? Because they preferred to bail out their failed government and put the blame on restriction fatigue of the people. Mind the restriction fatigue, it is a very mischievous pain of the story. Why? Fatigue is temporary, restriction is not. Now, let's have a hard look at the preposterous claims and fabricated alarms. Because most of the unfounded claims that lend legitimacy to the recipe of public health disasters are now being exposed. Fear mongering, mask mandate, lockdown, vaccine mandates, these are. Let's how the acclaimed mainstream experts and scientists have demolished bad science and false assurances. Allow me to cite the example of Israel. This is a country which has been in the headlines for all wrong reasons, like brute power, smoking devices, etc. But recently, it again assumed the center of debate because of the fact that Israel is the only country which has conducted most sweeping and authoritarian COVID mandates, including vaccine pass. Here, see the report of Epoch Times. This report quoted an expert of Prime Minister's Office of Israel, saying that the Green Pass can create false assurances. Why? It is not reducing infections in closed spaces like theaters. It needs to be used mainly for high-risk places like hospitals, care homes, etc. And most importantly, when you are eating, singing, and dancing. Strange. Ingenuity and ignorance is at its extreme. We are made to believe that virus recognizes green pass only in hospitals and while you are eating, singing, and dancing. This is exactly the reason why Woody Cameron, the professor and head of the microbiology and immunology of Tel Aviv University, wrote this scathing letter, open letter to the health minister. He said, history will judge the hysteria. It was an open letter addressed to the health minister of Israel. Here, he described, he analyzed how the protagonists of lockdown, they decried what is happening in Sweden. they imposed the lockdown and they fiercely defended what they did. Its title bottom line is, and next, it was, he wrote this thing back in August 2021. 6 months later, just a few months back, he wrote another letter, open letter, to the health minister of Israel. He said, the Ministry of Health, it is time to admit failure. Yes, the truth is being revealed, and you must admit your failures in the arena. Mass testing is effective, ineffective, recovery more protective than vaccine, ineffective system for reporting side effects of vaccines, deletion of such reports from official Facebook page. Yes, they put it in words that the official Facebook page of Health Ministry has deleted the name of those people who were afflicted by the vaccine side effects. He put it on record. Collaborated with stakeholder of Pfizer to publish dubious vaccine effectiveness report. And finally, he said that you have wasted money in billions to publish fear, destroying livelihood, ruining children's future, and muzzling human rights. These are all relevant even in the context of our country or elsewhere in the world. The fiasco of the century was built on dicta, having no scientific basis at all. Let science and common sense prevail over hopes and lies. Let's set the record straight to take a decisive position to prevent future harms in public health and civil rights. The whole official narrative of COVID was bolstered by persistent fear campaign. And you know who started the fear campaign? Now question is, who is perpetuating the fear campaign? Is it going to end? No, perhaps not. Teen masters are striking back. See, a CNBC report is there. It quotes WHO officials saying that future COVID variants will be fully resistant to vaccine as pandemic drags on. Does it need any comment? You can guess the hysteria makers, not history makers, are again calling the shots. There is another example, another piece of gem from Chief Scientist Soma Swaminathan, Chief Scientist of WHO. He said to an Indian TV that vaccines are reducing hospitalization and death. Vaccines are good. And she also mentioned T cell response, which she forgot while talking about the natural immunity. And not only that, she came up with the bizarre theory of hybrid immunity in place of herd immunity that she talked about even a few months back. This hybrid immunity suggests that even the naturally immune person should get vaccine shot. Less she speaks, the better for scientific community. Otherwise, they will be in trouble to find an effective mask to protect them from these stinking lies. Lies are exposed as never before. Now, I will show you what Dr. Roger Hodgkinson, Canadian pathologist, a reputed teacher and examiner, has demolished the basis of fear campaign with stunning clarity and unputdownable logic. This is what it has said.
Did you play, sir? I'm not able to hear.
It, it is not being played. I have played it.
Oh, no, no, we could not hear anything.
If oh, can you play it from your side? It is number 16.
Oh.
It's number 16.
Is it not playing from your side, sir?
Can you play it from your side? Number 16.
I'm just trying to
Okay,
check.
I have played it, but is it possible to play it from your side?
It can be, but
Number 16.
because I'm not a now I'm not a
Okay, okay, okay. Okay.
because I have to become
Sorry.
host.
For the sorry, viewers. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Now you just play it once again.
Viewers,
We'll see. Just play it.
Professor, it is being played in my screen, but it is not visible in your screen. It is being played in my screen, probably due to some technical snag.
Did you play actually?
Yes, yes, it is. I can hear it. I can see.
You are able to hear?
Yes, I am able to.
What is that slide?
It is 17.
Before that.
Before that, 16.
Acha, when you while selecting, you should select that media and sound, sir. That you did not do that. When you try to share, you should say media and
Yeah.
sounds. Media and sounds you should select.
Media and sound. It will be cumbersome. Let me explain this, then I will show the video. Otherwise, we'll lose reading.
Yeah, please. Just if it is playing from your side, if it is not opening here,
Uh-huh.
it is very clear that you should answer.
Okay. The other side of the slide is visible, okay? Is it?
The other side of the side is visible, Dr.
it
Roger,
right?
Dr. Roger Hodkinson. But when you play this here, when you share the screen, it will ask you media and sounds. That you have to.
Okay. Okay. Let me narrate these things, then I will show this.
Yep, yep.
Otherwise, we'll lose.
Yeah, you narrate, please.
Yes. US Professor Roger Hodkinson. He was a Canadian pathologist, reputed teacher, and examiner. He said that utterly unfounded public hysteria driven by media and politicians. It is completely outrageous, greatest hoax on unsuspecting public. This is not Ebola, not SARS. It is politics playing medicine, and that is a very dangerous game. Here we can add that who Director General Mr. Tedros has said that it is not going to be end game. Some governments are still dragging feet on lockdown, in spite of mounting evidences that there is no scientific basis or any justification of continuing or having this lockdown anymore. There are more than 400 studies on the failure of compulsory COVID interventions, and a few hundreds among them revealed that lockdown is catastrophic and ineffective. Let me present you a very recent trial It was conducted under the auspices of John Hopkins Institute of Applied Economics, Global Health, and it says that we conclude that lockdowns are not effective way of reducing mortality rates during a pandemic, at least for during the first wave of COVID-19 pandemic. Our results are in line with the World Health Organization writing Group 2006, who state reports from the 1918 influenza pandemic indicate that social distancing measures did not stop or appear to dramatically reduce transmission. So it is very clear that they knew it. They knew that social distancing measures do not work. It was proved. Still, they imposed it all over the world. And we know what were the consequences. Now the question is, will they own their responsibility now and mitigate the losses that people have suffered? More than more than 150 studies and articles have unequivocally proved that they are ineffective and source of potential harm. Just two studies are mentioned here. The first one is from famous study led by Jefferson. It said that wearing a mask makes little or no difference in outcome for influenza-like illness. The second was a very recent one. It was conducted in Bangladesh. It was a cluster randomized trial. Given many limitations of conducting such a trial in a community setting, the study came to a conclusion that cloth masks do not work. Surgical or N95 masks have limited or no protective role at community level. Therefore, the pseudoscience of making people healthy, of masking the people, healthy and sick alike, they are now stands exposed and unmasked. There was also a video of Dr. Roger Parkinson. He said that masks are utterly useless. Paper masks and fabric masks are virtually signal ridiculous to see uneducated and unfortunate people walking like lemmings with masks. And social distancing is also useless.
Here we are unable to hear your voice record because maybe you have not selected. It should be media sounds, and when you share the screen, that would be better. When you share the screen, when you share the screen, then while sharing the screen it will ask media and sounds. You click both. Then when you play we can hear this.
Okay. If you can hear my...
I am able to hear you, but I am unable to hear the video which is being played.
Okay, the message. Okay. Hmm. What he said essentially is these things. Masks are utterly useless. Paper masks and fabric masks are virtue signaling. It is ridiculous to see uneducated and unfortunate people walking like lemmings with masks. Social distancing is also useless. Most notable fact of his speech is that being a chairman of a biotech company selling COVID test, he said that a positive test doesn't mean infection. It only drives public hysteria, and all testing should stop unless someone goes to hospital with some respiratory problem.
Big exposures. Big exposures.
I think the doctor entrepreneurs and big bosses of corporate hospitals will take some cue from his advice or suggestions and let good sense prevail for them. I would have been happy if I could play this video.
Wait, 1 second. Play it.
Is it visible? No, nothing. It's black.
Visible, sir. Visible, but the audio. Audio, I'm trying to tell you, when you share the screen, you should say click both
Okay.
media and sounds. You go back to again share the screen. We'll stop it here.
Visual is there. Okay.
Video I'm able to watch, it's running, but the sound, media, sounds and all, when you while you share the screen, you should click both media and sounds.
Mhm.
Or else I have to go out of it. Wait. Let me see if I can just.
I-
Now I'm making myself presenter. Let me see if I can share
You
the.
can do that. You can do that. I will just narrate. You be the presenter.
Oh, I removed WhatsApp. Yeah, I'll just try to get that, because when you try to share, that is the time you have to click this both sounds and this thing. Only then they will open. But unfortunately, I don't think those videos have come into my. Because I was just watching that those videos were not trying to open up, because they form the vital aspects of your show. I'm trying to open the link. Once if that is opened, I think it becomes easy.
Okay.
Just give me a few minutes. Now I think. So I'm just trying to play it on the screen. These are biggest revelations which you have made. How WHO in 2016, I mean, that last study.
Should I play the video from my archive?
Oh, 1 second. I'm just trying to. This is the first video. This video is not open.
I'm going to play it.
Play, sir.
Nah. Can I share?
While I am in this thing, you can't.
Is it visible? Can you share the screen and the video?
Is this the video? Video I'm not able to share. I don't know why. Wait, sir. Maybe even I have not shared it properly. they say?
Can you share
This you have seen, no? Here you will
Now,
have, sir. Listen to me. Do you see this? Include media sound
I am I am
on the screen. Just watch this. Include media sound. You have to click and
playing
then
the video.
I've shown you. I said you should include media sounds and then share. Then it will play. But here, unfortunately, I think this has not been uploaded in my case. Wait, I'm just trying to check. Video is not playing here. I'm unable to play your video. I don't know what's happening here. No, sir. I will make you the present because video is not being played from my end. I think that has to come in a different way. I'll make you present. You just try whatever we can. But before you click share screen, see to that you click even. Yeah, now.
I am sharing the screen. I am clicking the video, the original video.
Before clicking, you say share even
I'm
sounds also.
Sharing the screen.
While sharing the screen, there will be option to hear media bytes, media sounds.
Original video.
Sorry, okay, sir, go ahead. Make it full screen. Make it full screen, sir. You have to make it full screen. Make it full screen, sir.
Yes.
Full screen. Yeah. Now you go ahead, sir.
Yes, I am on it. It is full screen now.
Yeah, go.
Okay. Sorry. Here.
The screen is blank.
They are.
Screen is blank,
They
sir.
are architects of draconian COVID responses.
Sir, nothing is visible.
Whole screen is blank.
Whole screen is
Nothing
black.
visible.
Black.
Strange. So see.
Yeah, now it has come. Go ahead, sir.
What is there?
It has come.
Now it has come.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. It is visible, sir. Go ahead.
Just a minute. Okay. Just a minute. Yes. In this video, the chief architect of COVID responses, Dr. Anthony Fauci, was grilled in the US Senate. He was asked, 800,000 Americans died. because of his COVID response. Does he think that it is a success or failure? He answered that mask, booster, everything, he said, has been in support of CDC guidelines. He's trying to shift the blame on CDC. But the fact remains that he closely worked with two CDC directors, a fiercely defended CDC recommendations, followed the order of Dr. Collins, the chief of NIH, to take down Great Barrington Declaration and call Dr. Joy Bhattacharya, Dr. Sunatra Gupta, and Dr. Martin Kulrock the fringe epidemiologists. Fringe epidemiologists. Therefore, the pseudoscience of making people full has been totally exposed by their such action. And most important thing is that it is clear he is disowning the responsibility. But true scientist never disowns the responsibility. They takes the responsibility regardless of the success or failure of their decisions. In contrast to Dr. Fauci, we have the brightest example of Robert Malone. It is very disturbing that I cannot play a video.
No, nothing can be done, sir. I wanted you to share with sounds, but you are not sharing sounds. I've shown you. There will be a button when you try to share the screen. No worries, sir. You explain.
That
No worries. Explain. Because you are explaining it properly. The narration is very good. Don't worry. That's up.
it is not. Yes, yes. Allow me to move the screen. This is was
Then you click on the screen. First you click on the screen and then you make it up and down. Then it will move. Bring the cursor onto this screen. You click here on this video. Click on this video, then it will move. Is it moving?
resume slide. So yes.
What happened, Doctor?
No, it is no. It is not.
I'm taking away presenter from you just to see what is happening there.
Today, facing so much problem.
We should have come earlier. Let me see, sir. 1 second. 1 second, sir. I have removed you from the presenter. This thing. I am just trying to.
Leave it.
Yeah. 1 second, Doctor. This is you have completed this. This you have completed. This you have completed. Marks. This is regarding marks. Utterly useless. Paper marks and fabric are virtual signaling. Okay. This also you have completed. Here you are, right? Sir, look at the screen, sir. That's up. Look at the screen. I am doing it, sir. That's up.
It is not moving.
I am doing it, sir. That's up. I am doing it for you. I am doing it for you.
It is not.
I'll make you a presenter again. Wait, that's up. Wait. Yeah, now you check. You are the presenter again. Now, before you share screen, here you will be having down media sounds. You click on that media sounds and share. Now you share the screen. Click down media sounds and share, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. When you click media sounds, then when you play video, it will play. With
After that, slide number 20. Yeah, the slide number 20.
check. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. No, not a problem.
So I have to remove. Okay. Anything?
Nothing, sir. Nothing is been seen. Like before you share the screen, sir.
Is there anything on the screen? No.
Nothing, sir. Nothing. Nothing has come.
I'm sharing your screen.
While sharing the screen, did you click media sounds?
You remove me as a presenter. Right? You just run your own seat. You remove me as a presenter.
If I remove you a presenter, then how will you do it, sir? Right, I'll make myself presenter and then I'll share the screen and see if I can do something. Then you can narrate. Go ahead, sir. Is this where you are?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
I can narrate. Just show the screen.
Yeah, it is on your screen, sir. Please go ahead.
21. Okay. True scientists owns responsibility regardless of the success or failure. In contrast to Dr. Fauci, Dr. Robert Malone, the inventor of mRNA vaccines, this is what he has said. That science is clear. Genetic vaccines are not working. They are not completely safe. They were made for original Wuhan virus, a completely different virus. They do not prevent Omicron infection. This vaccine is leaky and has poor durability. Full nature of this are unknown.
It's a big
Natural
exposure.
immunity is long-lasting and highly protective. Most important thing from his speech is that he said there are substantial risks from these vaccines, and if there is risk, there must be choice. To deny this choice is to deny the human dignity.
At least
That is the bottom line.
after 2 years he comes out now.
Yes.
That is a big exposure now. I think what governments across the globe have to say, including CDC, FDA, our own Indian Council of Medical Research, DCGI, health ministers, health director of health every state, and courts also, right from Supreme Court to High Court. I don't understand why they don't get such type of evidences for them. Yes, Dr. Gautam Das.
Next one. In this video, you are saying that before vaccinating your children, please get informed. Step by step, he was explaining in lucid languages the possible, probable side effects of vaccine, and he emphasized the fact that think, because it is an irreversible process. Next. Yes. The deadliest blow came from French vaccine expert and epidemiologist Dr. Perron. In this video, Dr. Perron is seen talking or giving evidences in Luxembourg in a parliamentary debate. Who was he or who has him? He was the ex-chairman of French National Experts on Vaccination and ex-WHO expert of vaccination on Eurozone. He said that he was speaking in French, subtitle was there in English. He said that this is a formal proof that these are not vaccines and we have to stop this delirium. There is complete absence of scientific evidences, which is shocking. And more shocking is that in the last summer, EMA, European Medicine Agency, admitted that they don't know the full composition of the vaccines. So it is clear that the regulator who gave green signal, emergency use authorization to the vaccines, they were literally blindfolded. Next.
What happened to this?
Twenty-three. 23. Hmm. Okay, 23 is done. Now 24.
But this is a big exposure.
Yes. And this was the video of Dr. Peter McCullough. Honest voice from the bottom of courageous hearts. When I'm saying so, he was talking about the myocarditis, which is a reality. It is killing children. In this video, he was saying that this myocarditis is haunting the doctors, cardiologists all over the world. Even at one point, he was almost in tears while he was describing the death of a boy whose father was present before him. He said that even one death is too many. When he was saying this, his voice was choked with emotion. One death is too many. Probably for many years to come, this warning from Dr. Peter McCullough will keep on ringing in our ears. Next. Yes, here are also two eloquent doctors from our country. They represent honest voices from medical fraternity of our country. They are speaking out. First one is Dr. Maya Balecha, consistently and tirelessly telling the people the true nature of vaccines. And next one is Dr. Amitabh Banerjee, professor and head of community medicine of Medical College of Pune. He was constantly writing, exposing the facts with his razor sharp logic and arguments. Recently, he wrote a scathing article in a National Herald column. He wrote, "Who advised the Prime Minister to vaccinate children?" We should express our sincere gratitude and thanks to these great people from medical fraternity who are speaking the truth. Next slide. Yes, this was a video of Julie Panossi. We are again back to the epicenter of Freedom Convoy. Julie Panossi was a professor of, has been the professor of ethics. She was banned from the university campus because of the fact that she disagreed with the vaccine mandate. And in the speech that she delivered in the convoy, freedom convoy in front of the Canadian Parliament, she was making some very interesting points. She said that freedom needs to be lived every day, and some days we need to fight for it. Even in best of times, our freedom is a heartbeat away from tyranny. But we are waking up. It is time to tell our policy makers the facts are not on your side. You cannot keep them up any longer. Pandemic is over. Enough is enough. Next slide. Probably the last one.
I think this thing you can play from your mobile, sir. These videos, the videos, audio can be seen from your mobile.
Okay, let me finish. Then I will. Yes. Enough has been said. What we have gone through in last 2 years. Finally, a caution needs to be mentioned because a sinister public health tyranny is brewing in China behind the cover of Winter Olympics. Because many videos are trickling out, it shows that people are being dragged out from their houses. They were forcefully tested, and if tested positive, they were pushed into a buses and sent to a shelters which look like metal boxes, probably concentration camps. They're looking like concentration camps. These disturbing videos are coming from China. So this is a worry. We do not know if this new virus of medical fascism will spill over in other parts of the world. We should be ever vigilant on civil rights and humanity. We should speak all over the world in one voice. Let us live our lives, end all mandates. Thank you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I think I'll just go to. Can you just, meanwhile, can you play these videos from your mobile? I hope the
Probably it
viewers.
will not be.
No, we viewers have got sufficient now to fight. Why Canadians?
I'm sorry for the inconvenience to all viewers. Before retelecasting or putting these things in social media, we hope that we can add that video so that you can view and listen
You can play the videos, sir. Now
what they say.
you can play the videos from your mobile
It,
because I have not
no,
received.
it will not be possible. I will be sending you the original files, audio and video, so that you can play it once.
Yeah, we'll see.
Probably it may not be possible tonight.
It may not, but okay. All said and done, you have narrated it. Wonderful presentation once again. Why Canadians are on roads? Such a Canadian population, soft-spoken people. Why they are on roads? I hope these are. They will speak on its own. And before we end, I wanted to show you that video which we halted in between from British Columbus. Just wanted to play this video and end this. Dr. Gautam Das has presented one of the best, I think, up to date. And we are trying to show you on the screen. The Ottawa police service members are exempt from mandatory vaccinations. They fought hard to protect themselves from mandates which would take away the. See how the Ottawa police, they are fighting mandatory vaccinations, saying that they are taking away their rights. But these very same people are now threatening Canadians standing up for the exact same right. See the hypocrisy. Such type of hypocrisies we need to fight. Hypocrisy at its worst. That is why the show was very important, and Dr. Gautam Da has narrated everything so beautifully. Where we stopped, yeah, from
on
here.
unbiased scientific basis. Not only that, he makes a mockery of science by cherry picking what reports serve his purpose and severely suppresses dissent in science, thereby turning himself more as a Stalinist arm of propaganda than promoting anything that remotely resembles real science. He has also helped corrupt the media so thoroughly that their reports are worth little. He is violating the rights of the people. He unleashes draconian laws under an emergency act that in itself should be illegal without public feedback, public consultation, and public access to both sides of an argument. I am aware that your office has signed these anti-people acts and have thus authenticated and helped enforce them. I hope you shall realize the implication of the actions of your office in legitimizing such acts. Lastly, much of this has been made possible because Canada does not have a proper constitution, either provincially or federally, that is composed for the people and ratified by the people. Lamentably, all political parties shy away from mentioning this serious drawback in our democracy, preferring the status quo so that Parliament holds sway over the people in passing ever harsher laws disenfranchising the citizens. The Prime Minister then uses extremely hateful comments against people that disagree with him, trying to seriously divide the people and enticing violence by one group of people against the other. For this reason alone, he should be in prison. He is unfit to serve any country in any capacity, least of all as Prime Minister of Canada. I shall wait to see what if any action is taken by your office upon receipt of this letter. Since I'm not sure if your office will at all respond to this message, I also intend to do the following. Number one, read it out loud on a video and then circulating it and sharing it widely among the citizens of this planet. Number two, send a copy to the Prime Minister of Canada as well as many members of the Parliament and my own local MLAs in British Columbia for their reference. I believe the working class of this nation and the rest of the world is at the cusp of a general uprising against elites that run the governments. This sentiment cuts across race, language, gender, and political alliances. It is likely the first ever global uprising in a mass struggle between the blue collar and the elites who have captured all governments and intend to rule their serfs by a top-down diktat. I remain hopeful that your office will recognize the winds of change and act accordingly. Sincerely, Tony Mitra, my address and my contacts. So that's the letter. What do you think?
What do you think, doctor? That's the letter. What do you think, doctor? Yes,
Yes,
doctor, what do you think? That's the letter. What do you think now?
he, he has he has rightly narrated what is happening in Canada. People in one voice are demanding the one thing, that is the end of all mandates, and it is being echoed in other parts of the world. It is the most beautiful part of the thing is that what it adopted in the frozen highways of Canada is now spreading all over the world like a wildfire. You can say it is a wildfire. And people are getting infused and drawing inspirations from it. I think it is a great moment. It is a great moment for the people. People are turning the tide because they're turning the table also. Because just 2 years back, they were shocked into their homes. They're forced to stay indoor. All the shops, business, institutions, everything was closed down. And only the political masters, they are playing the medicines. They are calling the shots. Now they are fearing, probably, I do not know what they are fearing about so much that they had to go into hiding. But it is a great moment of human history that people are responding, people are asserting their rights in the streets.
Wonderful.
That is the message of Canadian.
People. Yeah, now here's the news now from Israel. Israel Freedom Convoy, 20,000 vehicles in the convoy. Police are blocking street inside Jerusalem. It's a live news from Israel. So how do you look at this scenario? Israel tested so many doses and Israel conducted trials with the vaccines. Those who were vaccinated, those who were singly vaccinated, those who were with natural immunity. Israel came out with studies in a large population, 3.3 crores. They said those who are not vaccinated with natural immunity were the best ones, 17 times more robust natural immunity to fight the infection. Then why the hell they are imposing? How can a ruler, he is elected by the people and the governments run by the taxes paid by the people, and how do you think this global scenario across the globe, how is that these politicians, bureaucrats and their propped up media trying to impose sanctions against the will of the people? How do you look at this scenario?
One thing is important to note that the WHO is not relenting. On the contrary, on the contrary, they're they're spinning news stories every day. I have I have told you that Dr. Sharma Swaminathan, the chief scientist of WHO, has come up with a bizarre theory of hybrid immunity. I think she is the only person on this earth who can explain what is hybrid immunity. It may be totally rubbish, but not rubbish in that sense. Actually, she wants to suggest that even the person who has got natural immunity by getting these infections, he or she has to get the vaccine shot. That is the message. That is the message he was justifying. He was trying to justify the things. So it is at the lowest point they could reach. Their lies are getting exposed like never before. People, even the common people are getting these things. They are understanding why and how they have done the fear mongering. It is a complete exposition to the people.
Now do you think this
I think that is
science, now do you think science, truth and freedom is going to reign supreme everywhere? Now India also, people will be on the roads starting questioning. See, election after election is happening. Nothing happens when the elections are happening. This election commission of India, I don't understand why Supreme Court, High Courts, they want such a mass protest. What will happen to India in that case? How can people trust democracy? How can they have faith in the judiciary? And how is that Indian Medical Association, all the scientific bodies like Indian Council of Medical Research, DCGI, how will they turn up tomorrow? How long they think they can influence, they can impose, and they can create fear psychosis along with their propped up media?
I think the political parties of our country has played a bigger role in this pandemic because if we see the parliament and senates of other countries, the responsible persons like Dr. Fauci or others, they were asked to give deposition or they were grilled even. But here nothing sort of this is happening here. All the political parties are sighing of this COVID narrative. They have taken it for granted. They're not questioning. They're not with the people. and they are very busy keeping the people under the spell of some electoral statement and electoral stories and narratives one after another. They are making these things. So until the people can realize the true nature of these politicians of our country, whatever spectrum they have come from, that doesn't matter. But I think that is the that is creating a blockade in creating the mass awareness as we have been watching in other parts of the world.
You
That is the
think
biggest obstacle for us.
you think this science, truth and freedom is going to have impact on the people of India? आप ये समझते हैं कि वैज्ञान विज्ञान और सच्चाई आज़ादी की जीत होगी हमारे भारत में भी?
Theoretically, that is true. But when it will come to our country, we do not know. I think we have to have a long way to go that.
Are you seeing a ray of hope? At least the state after state are coming out of mandates now.
That is the only ray of hope. I think the governments of our country will also force to show the same line. Otherwise, mass upsurge will be the thing that we will witness in near future.
Last one, how do you think
I
that
think
the
all
medical
governments are apprehending.
medical and scientific bodies, Indian Medical Association to Indian Council of Medical Research, DCGI, all those state health departments, Directorate of Health and Science, Family Welfare, how do you react to their silence over all this? And they are promoting it.
Yes. And unexplained silence, ominous silence is from their part. They're not telling any word. Even when they are giving authorization to the vaccines, they are just keeping mum. I do not know until the people come out on the street and demand the answers from them. I think they will not budge. They will not budge. They will not tell a thing.
Yep.
I think it is up to the people. It is not up to the scientific community.
The scientific community is keeping mum. They are imposing, no sir. They are the ones who are dictating terms to the politicians, and there nothing is discussed on the floor of the parliament. You see ICMR, DCGI, Indian Medical Association, they give statements in support of vaccination, in support of vaccine mask mandates. How do you think they are not? Don't you think Nuremberg Code will be applied tomorrow once the trial happens, as it is being witnessed world over? Every government is falling apart now. The mandates are falling apart. क्या ये नहीं सोचते कि अब
Yes.
दुनियादारी हमारे भारत में भी आएगा? क्या सच्चाई की जीत आधार के साथ बाहर नहीं आएगा? क्योंकि हम संविधान हैं. We ourselves are a constitution. మనమే రాజ్యాంగ వ్యవస్థ. So right from Prime Minister to Chief Minister, they run by our taxes paid by us. They are our public servants. And how long do you think they can just impose or they can sideline this topic? And scientific bodies, don't you think they will have to pay tomorrow?
Yes. Because maintaining silence is a clear strategy on their part. And only hope is that in some part of informal media are also speaking up. Some experts from the scientific community, even from the medical fraternity, are also speaking up. I am hopeful that the tide will turn also here. I am very much hopeful.
You are very much hopeful. So let us say bye from here. Dr. Gautam Das has done a very good job here today. Why Canada is protesting, why the world is protesting, with evidences. How social distancing was not at all helpful. He has presented, right, that influenza, WHO studies, WHO should be crucified. WHO studies only has pointed at how masks were not helpful from those who were propagating, how the mRNA vaccine manufacturers and others with proven evidence has stated that those vaccines are not helping. And not only that, how dangerous they are when you inoculate children. All these evidences. These are the evidences. That is why now Israel also we have received latest information. Australia, people are protesting. Canada, you have seen, Canada is leading the way. Now India, अगर अभी राजनीतिक दल या हमारे वैज्ञानिक ICMR से लेकर DCGI या हर राष्ट्र में हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट अगर ये विज्ञान, सच्चाई और आज़ादी की बात नहीं करेगी तो लोगों से ఇప్పుడైనా భారతదేశంలో ప్రభుత్వాలు, కేంద్ర రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వాలు, ICMRతో పాటు DCGI ప్రజల ఆకాంక్షలకు అనుగుణంగా వైజ్ఞానం, కరోనా విజ్ఞానం ఏంది, యథార్థమేంది, నిజమేంది, స్వాతంత్ర్యం ప్రజలు కోరుకుంటా ఉన్నారు. వీటన్నిటి వాటి పట్ల వారు చర్యలు తీసుకోకపోతే కెనడా లాగా, యూరోప్ లాగా, ఆస్ట్రేలియాలో లాగా, ఇప్పుడు ఇజ్రాయెల్ లాగా భారత్లో కూడా పెద్ద ఎత్తున ప్రజలు రోడ్డుపైకి వచ్చే ప్రమాదం ఉంది. ఎందుకంటే వారు ప్రజాస్వామ్యంపై విశ్వాసం కోల్పోకముందే చట్టబద్ధత ఏదైతే రాజ్యాంగం మీద ప్రమాణం చేసి పార్లమెంట్ సభ్యులు కానీ, అసెంబ్లీ శాసనసభ్యులు కానీ ప్రజాహితంలో పనిచేస్తాం, పారదర్శకంగా జవాబుదారితనంతో అని చెప్పారో దానికి తూట్లు పొడిచినట్టయితే ప్రజలు వారు ఇంకా ఉపేక్షించరు, క్షమించరు. అందుగురించే, ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళ ప్రజల జీవితాలు వాళ్ళ ప్రాణాలతో చెలగాటమాడారు, వారి పిల్లలతో కూడా చెలగాటమాడుతూ ఉన్నారు. अगर अभी नहीं सुधरे पार्लियामेंट से लेके हमारे असेंबली तक हमारे राजनीतिक दल, जिस तरह आम आदमी जो अपने आप संविधान है, जो अपना जीवन खो बैठा, साथ में जान खो बैठा और साथ में अब बच्चों को भी इस तरह सताया जा रहा, ना पढ़ाई ऊपर से ठीका जिसका कोई मूल नहीं है, जिसका कोई एक वैज्ञानिक ये नहीं है, जिस तरह दुनियादारी है, अगर यहाँ पर भी ये लोग सामने आके सच्चाई, विज्ञान और सच्चाई और आज़ादी के और जो पब्लिक, जो आम हिंदुस्तानी जो इस तरह की सोच रहा है, अगर केंद्र और राष्ट्र सरकार इसके खिलाफ जाएंगे तो जो हम देख रहे हैं दुनिया में वह कुछ हमारे भारत में भी देखना पड़ेगा. क्योंकि लोकतंत्र में हम हर कोई एक संविधान है और हमारे टैक्सेस के साथ ही जो प्रधानमंत्री से लेकर चीफ मिनिस्टर से ऑफिस तक चलता है, लेकिन वो लोक हित में रहना चाहिए and it should be very transparent and accountable. Otherwise, the writing is very clear on the wall. The Canada protests are shaking everyone, though they are trying to fight us on the religious lines or other lines because of the elections which were there. They are holding. Elections are being held in 5 states. The entire world is protesting on corona mandates. These politicians, political parties funded by these fellows, they are just trying to maintain as if nothing is happening. They have to face the music once people start questioning them. Sooner than later, I only hope the Indian parliamentarians and Indian legislators will understand what science, what truth and what freedom is all about, and the propped up media and this unscientific bodies like ICMR, DCGI and all state health departments will have to answer. No one will go scot-free. Believe me. Thank you, Dr. Sahab. Take care.
Thank you.
This will be retelecasted. We will let you know the date and time and everything. Of course, we will try to add some videos and all. Don't worry. But all in all, was a very fantastic presentation. This is an eye-opener from here on in India also. Such big evidences Dr. Gautam Das has shared with you. It is going to definitely shake. Canada is shaking the world. Now this today's show of Dr. Gautam Das will definitely shake India. Every state, I am sure. All the learned people, we have put all the evidences. You can take the evidences, start questioning everyone, and don't forget to write to Chief Justice of Supreme Court, Chief Justice of all high courts in India as to why they are keeping mum in spite of so many evidences. It is our money, our health, our lives, our future is at stake. Again, they are imposing these mandates on unfortunate children. Wake up! जागिए भाइयों और बहनों. It is better you act now. అందరు కూడా జాగృతులు కండి. మన జీవితాలతో, మన పిల్లల జీవితాలతో, మన భవిష్యత్తుతో ఆడుకునే అవసరాన్ని ఎవరికి ఇవ్వకండి. మనమే సంవిధానం, మనమే రాజ్యాంగం. ఆలోచన చేయండి. సో టేక్ కేర్ సబ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ and good night for all. Sukha Nidra and Shubharatri for Indians. Good morning, good afternoon and good evening to the world over. Take care, sir. Bye.